And Talk Station 99.3 Nigeria Info. Yes, we're back with Dailies today. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
I'm Jimi. Disu. Good morning.
Okay, so we have the papers here. Feel free to watch online. Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. We're going to start with the Vanguard, page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. 2023, Tinubu mom after closed-door meeting with Obasanjo.
It's a pity that ASUU's supporters, and indeed his handlers to some extent, don't take after the man himself. From what I've been able to discern of him, he's tolerable to criticism. He has no permanent enemies. He has a permanent interest. And therefore, I don't think he's given to some of the things that his supporters do, abuse people, make enemies out of them. He hates people. I read somewhere where he said, part of politics is some would like me, some will not. He's purposeful. Yes, he will criticize the Emiloko or whatever, but the flip side of that is that of a man who is determined to achieve his goal. Whatever you now feel about the goal is left to you. So this move he made yesterday is a masterstroke. It's a deft move. And you can only find such moves in the minds of somebody who is very, very determined. To be honest with you, I mean, he shows a lot of determination and drive. Whether you now think that you now feel, whatever you now feel about, his drive and whatever, you still must give him that credit. For showing a lot of resolve, and that's why it's in that light that I saw the visit of yesterday. Now, that Bola Tinubu and Obasanjo probably wouldn't want to be on the same plane, going from here to San Francisco on a 16-hour flight. You'll be lucky if they don't end up in fisticuffs. But he went to meet him. He went... I couldn't hold myself yesterday. He went to meet him, and that's a lesson for politicians and indeed for individuals. If you're focused on what you're doing, you must give all it takes within reason and within legal means to get your goal. So he had a meeting with Obasanjo. Nobody said anything. Obasanjo, again, sometimes can be unpredictable. I don't want to say that it can be very, he has candor and things, but he's unpredictable. Only God knows what Obasanjo told him. But what we read from reports is that he went with a very large entourage, including one traditional ruler who initially I thought was the Ooni of Ife. I like to tell our traditional rulers at any level at all, don't get involved openly in politics. It won't help the candidate, it will help you, but it won't help the candidate. Stay away. You are father of all. I was shocked when I saw I could have sworn, if I was this morning, that I was able to determine that, so it wasn't the Ooni of Ife, it was the Urugbo of Igbo from somewhere. Anyway, back to the main issue. Tinubu visited him to tell him of his aspiration. Openly, everybody believes that Obasanjo would never support Tinubu, but I'm a bit different. Obasanjo said different things about Atiku almost within the same decade. Supported him the last time, not supporting him this time. I don't know what makes him want to support anybody. I can imagine Chris, who I regularly says, I've been at Bemo. I don't think so. I don't think so. So he went and for all his worth, he's made a statement. He's reached out to him. So here also we have that Peter Obi visited Femi Kuti, who raised an alarm. Femi Kuti got, he robbed the obedience on the wrong side, and then he had gotten threats. So I knew that they were just paper threats. Nobody's going to want to burn his house, but you never know. You never know. So what Obi did yesterday is also highly commendable. Let's have peace. And Obi said it himself. It's all about issues. It's not everybody that would support, And so the obedience too need to learn from Obi's character. Obi looks to me like a man of peace. He looks like a take it or leave it. When a man comes in public to say, I will not give shishi, then it's a take it or leave it. It's not a matter of life and death for him. You don't gain any converts by being violent or abusive. after Achiwaju went to Obasanjo yesterday, some of his supporters in Facebook started putting on some imbecilic statements, some childish and stupid statements, mocking. What? Hey, let's get real. Let's be adults in the room. All said and done, we call on all. Let's just have a nice campaign. Let it be based on issues, and may the best man win.
Indeed. Let's go to the punch.
You kept saying,
Yeah.
If I ask you to say something now, you say you have a sore throat.
You have said everything. You have said everything. When I say it means correct.
Okay, Babani.
Correct.
Yeah.
It
It reminds me of my friend's father in the days of Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
When his what he say, he, bah. That's Dubi's dad. Dubi, my friend Dubi, my brother. His dad. Abi. We used to call him Abi behind his back. That is what he was saying. He, bah. Papa must not hear me. He mustn't hear this at all.
That's the punches of it.
Yes. So if it's a Muhammad Ali Fraser, if it's a Muhammad Ali Fraser, if when they say he, and when they say bah, then that's Muhammad Ali.
Okay, that cracks you up, bro.
So when you kept going, yeah, it was.
Oh, wow.
Oh, thank God we can laugh about
That's
this.
a good laugh.
It's the least we can do under these circumstances.
That's right. Let's go to the Punch newspaper, page 8 of the Punch. He now.
He, bah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Strike. ASUU begins consultations on next move.
Let this strike just be over.
Yeah.
I'm not so concerned about this story because I don't even know, but I'd like to read this comment. It says that ASUU President Oshodeke urged Nigerian students not to vote for politicians who have their children studying in institutions outside the country. Professor, please stick with the ASUU issue and let's resolve this crisis and leave politics out of it. I beg of you. Because the moment you bring in politics, the whole thing is going to get confused. Okay, and we will miss. Our target is to get our universities up, running, and functional. Okay, so leave politics out of it. The students are not kids. They know who they want to vote for. Okay, under this circumstance, Professor, with due respect, leave the issues about who they should vote for. And in any case, how do you know whose child is abroad and who isn't? Some children are abroad on their own steam. Remember that from the age of 18, an adult determines what he wants to do. Some of these children are in school, by their own strength. It's true, I know the sentiment, yes, but we need to put things in a balance, and we don't want this ASUU strike, this ASUU issue, tainted with any political, whatever it is, insinuation. Okay, because the government could latch on to this to say that, the reason why we haven't resolved this is because it's political, and they've told Nigerians not to vote for them, and so on and so forth. And the funny thing is, and the unfortunate thing is, if you don't want to vote for anybody whose child is abroad, who will be left amongst those who have put themselves forward that you can vote for? Because the truth is, the average elite, and that's where political people come from. You can't be a poor man and contest. Right. Let's get that one clear. The elite, this is the option that they have. Now, whether they are part of what has led us to this is another story entirely. But back to the issue, so that I too don't lose track. Please just let us talk about the issues and let us try to find the appeal is not just to the government, though. I hope people need to understand that it's also to ASUU. Okay, to look at things, in a realistic manner, and let's just get our universities open. What is most important is if you're a parent and you have a child who's been at home since February, it's painful. It's painful. Leave them to decide who they want to vote for. If they're adults, let's just get these universities up and running. So the story now says that the organizing committee of ASUU, the National Strike Organizing Committee, has met to decide on the way forward concerning the ongoing strike by the union. Okay, and we just hope that there'll be a resolution to this crisis. God bless us all.
Indeed. We're streaming live on Facebook and we're also live on YouTube. Just search for Nigeria Info 99.3. Search for that and you'll be able to watch us live right now. Let's go to the politics page of the Nation newspaper. I did know why I am running for governor.
Now, all of you know the newspaper called The Nation. And I'm sure close to 90% of you believe that Tinubu owns that paper, either directly or indirectly. And here is, in case you don't know who Adedinro is, probably don't know, this is Jandor, the gentleman they call Jandor. And he has a full-page interview in The Nation that is owned or supposedly owned by Tinubu. Of course, I don't need to tell you the implication of all that. Where I'm going is I am very, very pleased with, and I have said it a few times before, I'm very, very pleased with the nation's disposition to politics. Of course, they have their leaning. You can see through that. But they are tolerant of other views. Look, it's a full-page interview, which I'm sure maybe Mr. Sanwo-Olu won't find too pleasing this morning. I'm just joking. But it's a full-page interview that is, he's given full-page space in The Nation of why he wants to run for governor. And remember, he's running against an APC candidate. And these are the kind of things that we want to see in the politics. So this is a double win. He went to Obasanjo, and his paper now has opposition of the juiciest state for them, and they're carrying his story. He says, I didn't know it's the standard bearer of the People's Democratic Party, and he has two people interviewed him, Emmanuel Badejo and Success Omonijo, and that's it. Now, of course, all kinds of things. Facebook will be interesting today. The reasons that will be given for this to happen. I'd love to see all that. But the bottom line is that it is in what I would call, even in the days of the Tribune, I'm not too sure that they ever interviewed Shagari or any PDP. No, what was it then? What was it? You had, what was the MPN?
Okay.
The MPN listing. This is quite commendable, and
it's a full page.
It's a full page.
Yeah,
it's a full page, and this is maturity at its best. So kudos again to the nation for this. These kind of things, kind of make some of us feel a bit easier. Maybe I hope this will also translate in. We'd like to see other billboards or opportunity for other parties to put up their billboards in Lagos, because now the whole place is dominated by one party alone. Yes, the government doesn't control, but we know who does. And we've had incidents of those who actually paid for billboards and had their monies refunded.
So that's the thing. I was in phase one yesterday. That roundabout in phase one, that little roundabout in phase one that ushering you into the link bridge. Mm-hmm. The electronic billboard there, I saw a big electronic picture of Bola Tinubu there, like a campaign picture. And I'm wondering whether, campaigning has started. We spoke about this earlier, and I said that for the broadcast media, you have someone who regulates and makes sure that, you don't start campaign unless it's time to, you follow the law.
Yes.
But in other areas of the media, like the print, the outdoor, I'm really not sure there's anybody monitoring those spaces.
Well, at the very least, INEC can sanction the candidate and the party.
So that's it. That's the risky part.
At the very least.
So that's the risky part, right? What if the candidates didn't know anything about it?
Well, he has to issue a denial. I mean, the billboards, by the way, I'm sorry, but as somebody who's been involved in PR at various levels, I can't run away from making comments. The billboard you're talking about, the one that came down, that has a very large picture of Asiwaju and has Emilokon. Emilokon is not a good campaign at this time. So the APC need to learn from this. It's not a good campaign. It's a sensitive thing. That you need to put deeper thought into how you run these things. Emilokon is not a good campaign material. It's not a good campaign slogan. It's good for your supporters. It's not good for converts. Your supporters will hail you. Your supporters will hail you on anything anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not good for comfort. If you want to reach out to other people, it's not sellable. So you need to start thinking of getting your and the campaigns need to have a theme. What I think you just said is I think so-called supporters are springing up billboards, but you need to put all that under control. You need to put that under control. I mean, so yes, so it's the job. I think with the other areas starts and almost stops with INEC.
Yeah.
And maybe you might say police, because if you're flouting the laws of the land, I think it's the police that should be held.
Because it's the law of the land.
We are lucky we have our own local police in the NBC. Even though some people are beginning to
challenge
those things. I'm one of those, but I'd rather not do it on air for now. Yes, I don't really think that they're running in the manner that would make us grow. But we ourselves have not grown. You see, the media is at fault itself, because the media itself has not matured, and therefore that's what you get. These things are what I would call a bit of environmental issues, not the environmental of sweeping the land. And
no.
You get
the ecosystem. Yeah,
the ecosystem. No, not about that, but the environment, in the sense that the media itself has not self-regulated itself, because it's like respect. If you want anybody to respect you, you have to respect yourself in the first instance. If you don't respect yourself, you can't now expect anybody to respect you. That's the way it works.
Okay, all right. Let's take this editorial from The Punch. Oil theft, FG should stamp out official collusion.
Honestly, if it's not that we just have to review, there's nothing to say.
Yeah.
Because what is most prevalent, the Punch here suggests all the things that can be done. It says the president should shake up the security forces, regulators, statutory maritime agencies, intelligence agencies. We've thrown everything but the kitchen sink. We put in the Navy, we put in the DSS, we put in the this thing. The only thing we don't have is the will. We don't have the will. I'm telling you, we don't have the will. Countries have been known, presidents have been known to go through some extrajudicial measures to get things sorted out. This incident of oil theft is so vital to our society, to us as a country. It's so vital that it can't go under the normal, go to get police arrest, go to high court, whatever. I'm telling you, in some cases, in some countries, some extrajudicial means, some task force would have been set up if it means blowing up some of these ships that come to steal our oil. So we don't have the will. If you're still going to be going through the gamut of going to court and this and that, you're not going to get anywhere. And it's putting us all into panic. One day we are going to have a radical president who will go through the extrajudicial means to attack these things once and for all. You do that once or twice, then the people will know that you mean business. So the Punch recommendations are here, but I keep saying that what you need most is the will and the leadership. To have a leadership that has the will. By the time you blow up one or two ships, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Blow up. They just see that it's being blown. What did America do when they got threatened by the drug cartels? They started blowing up their factories and whatever. You need to do some extrajudicial things. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say that we should do things above the law, but there are some that are almost like anybody who steals Nigerian oil at this time is an act of war.
Yeah.
And it should be treated as such, with no prisoners. If you do that, a lesson will be learned. But the Punch goes through this gamut, and they talk about other countries take strong measures to protect national assets. Read in between the lines. It says other countries take strong measures to protect national assets. The Atlantic Council reports that in 2015, Mexico strengthens its laws, raising jail terms from oil theft from 8 years to as high as 25 years in some cases. In 2013, Ghana introduced the Petroleum Product Marketing Scheme, wherein molecular markers are mixed into fuels imported, enabling the regulators to screen retail stations and so on and so forth. The Punch believes that cutting-edge technology should be deployed along the production, distribution, and export infrastructure, including deploying drones. There should be strong partnership between the security agencies and the private sector to prevent theft and vandalism. Stronger penalties for all theft and vandalism as serious as economic sabotage and official collusion should be legislated and ruthlessly enforced. You get it?
Yeah, that's just what you said, yeah.
Ruthlessly enforced. Currently, few thieves are prosecuted and those that face the judicial process get light sentences. In one case, 9 oil thieves caught with 200 million naira worth of stolen crude were put on trial in 2015. Scandalously, the defendants only got a no, this must be an error. It says the defendants only got a 2,000 naira fine each in January 2022. Exasperated, the presiding judge, Okunabang of the Federal High Court, described as sordid, morbid, very unpleasant, and dirty the curious plea bargain agreement brought by the prosecutor. You see now, prosecutor brought 2,000 naira fine, giving the accused a soft landing. Such nonsense should not be allowed again. I say the most important thing is the will to have a leader who says that, look, this is an act of warfare, and that's the way we are going to treat it. From now on, economic saboteurs will be treated like enemies.
Enemy
of the
combatants.
state.
Yeah.
Yes. Until you do that, you're not going to go far.
Okay, let's take this story here, which is also a very sad, pathetic story. Barbaric and racist. It's in the Nation newspaper. It's about the Nigerian, physically challenged Nigerian that was beaten to death on the streets of
No,
Italy.
that was horrible. It was horrible. And why was he beaten to death? The deceased, described as Filippo Felazzo, pounced on his victim on a busy street and used the latter's crutch to clobber him to death. You know, his grouse was reportedly that Alika allegedly touched the arm of his girlfriend, in the process of trying to sell his wares to them. The girlfriend told the police that her partner had lost his temper because the late ventor kept insisting that they buy something. The head of the Association of Immigrants in March Regions, whatever, Dana Namanza, said Alika had called the attacker's girlfriend Bella, which in Italian means beautiful, and this probably infuriated the man. Surely these are trivial issues for which a man ought not be robbed of his precious life. And I agree to that. But also now I agree to our people now to be very careful when you go to other countries. Very, very careful. I did give you an apt description once. Sharif and I are on holidays in America, and I take his son. I'm driving him out to say, Sharif, let me take this boy for an ice cream. Now, if I do that in Lagos and I get to a checkpoint at Bonnet Camp, they say, okay, welcome. They say, this speaking way they hear, who is it? I say, it's my son. If I try that in America, they call the child out of the car. Say, can we talk to him? Say, yes. So what's your name? He says his name is Bashiru Quadry. Let's assume that he has the same name as I have. He says his name is Bashiru Quadry. And they come back and say, sir, your documentary is for Jimi Disu. This is Bashiru Quadry. You say he's your son. Where I'm going is that you need to understand, or at best, be very careful. You don't know the culture. I'm not justifying what has happened. No. It's just advice to us that when you go to other lands, you need to be extremely careful. More so in countries where English is not spoken. You do need to be very, very careful. I suspect what happened was maybe the guy was trying to call the woman's attention and touched her. Touchery can be a very serious social misdemeanor in some countries. He wouldn't want to do that, for example, in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Now, that is not to justify what has happened to him. I think it was quite unfortunate. And I hope that the Nigerian authorities will see this to the very end. This is a case they must be interested in. And see that justice is done.
The Diaspora Commission said that they're on the case, that they are liaising with their counterparts, the Italian authorities, to get to the bottom of it. There have been several conferences on this case. I mean, what's it called now? Press conferences.
Yes.
On this case, the authorities, the police authority in Italy, they've been talking to the media, giving updates on their,
Hasn't the man been charged for murder?
I'm not exactly aware if he has been charged for murder or not.
I mean, it's because the case is quite clear that he has to go to court.
Yeah.
And it's quite clear that even if it's not premeditated murder, you've been looking at manslaughter here. So I wonder why the meetings are going back and forth and back and forth. Do you suspect that the Italians are trying to cover the case?
I don't think so. I don't think they would. I don't think so.
It would be sad if they did.
I don't think so. Remember the issue of what's this oil? This thing. It was in Italy. They first convicted. Was it Malabo?
Yes.
The Italians were, straightforward, and So I don't think there's going to be any cover up.
Well, there shouldn't be. There shouldn't be.
We have to go now. We're out of time completely. This headline says time to collect your PVC. So please go and the voter registrar is out. So go to your local government and verify. Check your name. Make sure everything is intact.
Oh, really?
Before INEC printouts, yes. So
why don't we have a system where the local government puts it on the internet and you can just click in your name and see if it's there? So you have to physically go there now?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. You have to go to the local government.
Just have a website for people to check their names. So simple. So you can keep checking it every morning in case somebody has stolen your name. Because
I think it's because right there you can do something to indicate that something is wrong or something.
You can do that online. You should be able to.
You can actually do anything online.
You should be able to do that online.
Yeah, you can do anything online.
Even have your own portal, have your own password, your own whatever. You should be able to do these things online. Now you're going to have a big queue at local government offices. People wanted to check. Ije different boys name. You know what they call Ije?
I know. Shall try and go and check it so that you can get your details right.
That's Yoruba English, Nigerian English. Yeah. Shall try,
yes. Shall go there and go and check. We have to go now. Thank you so much. Let's talk health at 8 o'clock. The investigative panel set up by the Chief Medical Director of FMC Ebute Metta, they are here to give updates on the outcome of the investigation into the allegation leveled against the facility or one of the people in the facility by the callers when we had our medical fraud series last month. So stay here. We'll have them in a moment. Stay with us here on Nigeria Info. Good morning to you, Lagos.
Good morning.
They don't disconnect your line sake of say you not link your national identification number to your MTN number. Make you no worry. If you don't already collect your NIN, it gets some 5 easy steps so you go take record.
The debaters are ready.
The panel of judges are ready.
The judges have decided. The prize money is ready. 1 million naira.
There's only one question left, Lagos.
0001 or 5. Visit www.mtn.ng. If you not gonna get national identification number, just waka enter any MTN store or NIMC center near you, or visit the MTN website to book appointment. Make you do any of these things sharp. Opportunity still there now. Ask yourself, now what we they do today?